Thank you, Jay. That was so powerful. I was similarly looking around to figure out who you're talking about. I think that's sometimes why we need each other, to remind each other of who we really are, right? That we are the powerful people that other people are talking about. And I think that events like tonight and BlackStar as an organization for so long has been that place where we go for that kind of reflection, for that kind of seeing and that mirroring and that knowing. So, sorry. Thank you. And I'm honored to be the recipient of this BlackStar Luminary Award tonight while surrounded by kin. Jiraurd, my other sibling Che, Gossett, and everyone here in this room that knows that storytelling is a radical act of creation and knows that BlackStar is a space where our collective dreams and voices come alive, a home for those of us who refuse to settle for a world that doesn't see our fullness. In the early 2000s, I'm just going to talk about a few luminaries that shaped me in the constellation of stars that I'm finding myself in tonight. So if you just bear with me, I want to just quickly trace what this moment means to me through the people that helped shape me. In the early 2000s, I was a prison abolitionist community organizer, and I worked really closely for a few years with Angela Davis to plan a large prison abolitionist convening to reimagine the world. This was after I was profoundly impacted by Sister to Sister, for folks who know, and Audra's work in Brooklyn. It was just so powerful and ignited my desire for filmmaking, seeing the documentary film that you made about our communities. And so I was doing this work on the daily. And so we, Angela Davis, Critical Resistance, all of us were gathering together to think not just about what we wanted to dismantle in terms of the prison industrial complex, but dreaming up what we wanted to create, right? How we desired the world to be, how we prefigure that world through our daily acts of care, of seeing each other in our relationships and showing up for one another. Angela Davis teaches us that radical transformation begins with how we care for ourselves and each other. She wrote, "Self-care and healing and attention to the body and the spiritual dimension, all of this is now a part of the radical social justice struggle. That connection between our interiority and the collective is at the heart of where I situate myself in the Black cinematic practice and tradition, and it has shaped me. The radical act of imagining and perceiving and moving in the direction of the world that we deserve, not in spite of challenges, but through and because of them. That is how we make a way out of no way." It is a lesson I also learned from my friends and collaborators, including Arthur Jaffa. I met AJ over a decade ago when we traveled to Scotland together to think and feel through the Black radical tradition and its artistic legacy here in the US. Sometimes you need that kind of distance to reflect. AJ's vision and craft has shaped me and so much of what we see and know as Blackness on screen. His work reminds me that cinema is not just about what we show, but how we see. Afterwards, after this gathering in Scotland that Cydia Hartman was at, and Fred Moten and AJ, we were just hanging out, and in my shy Cancerian way, I wasn't quite a filmmaker yet, I asked AJ if he knew any cinematographers for a film I was making with Sasha Warshel about Marsha P. Johnson, that later BlackStar was among the first festivals to ever screen, named Happy Birthday, Marsha. AJ's response was, "What about me?" I was shocked. And so a powerful collaboration for my very first narrative film was born. A few years later, I made a film titled The Personal Things about my mentor and chosen mother, the Black trans elder, Miss Major Griffin Gracie. In it, she reminds us about the deep power within ourselves and how small, everyday acts shape the world. She's been doing this for years, since Stonewall. She was at Stonewall in New York in 1969. And at one point, she was writing our community saying, in the 90s, "We are unique and wonderful. We are the creative souls of humankind. Therefore, we must stand our ground and have all who come in contact with us realize we are worth loving. We are worth it all. The luminaries we honor tonight form a powerful constellation. They create spaces where care, joy, and resistance are entangled and intersect, showing us that art is not just a mirror, but a portal to liberation. And if you're anything like me, other powerful luminaries have shaped your star. That's how we make a way out of no way. For me, filmmaking is also about honoring those who came before, who, through their daily acts, right, those small daily acts, made possible what seemed impossible. When I create, I think about Marsha B. Johnson, who didn't wait for history to remember her. She made herself unforgettable. Her spirit teaches us that loving ourselves and each other is at the core of transformation. So thank you, BlackStar, for giving us the space to dream together, to feel through and with each other. And thank you for being here to build this brighter world, this earth we deserve. Let's keep going. Thank you.